So, hi everyone, welcome to NBA Talks. And today's session, my name is Alex Moreno. I'll be the host for Nordic Blockchain Association. Um, for today's webinar, we are talking about combating crypto crimes, strategies for mitigation, compliance. So we all know that cryptocurrency has been involved for some time, and there's a lot of challenges associated with crypto operative, from money laundering, fraud, understanding the dynamics, and how we can safely operate in digital space. It's essential for protecting our assets and mm, maintaining that market integrity. For today's session, we're having some technical issues that it's going to be resolved pretty soon, but we'll have an expert from Match Systems. The idea is that we'll cover the difference between AML, anti-money laundering, KYC, your customer, and the importance on operating the crypto space. Then we'll go deeper into some of the practices for individuals to safely operate and secure their crypto assets, and how to avoid some of those scams and protect our crypto assets. Some strategies more dedicated to business, how they can integrate crypto, they're all operative, how they can securely operate, be AML compliant, and how we can create some automatizations to facilitate those operatives. And then we'll get deeper into the trends in cryptocurrency fraud, what's happening right now. And as our expert, we would like to know what he thinks is the future of security, regulation, and which are the goals and what we should be aware for the following years. There's a lot of ongoing debate on all of on crypto regulation. So it's quite important to have some experts. And the idea behind NBL talks is that everyone gets a clear idea on specific topics, what's more interesting for us, and that we can all share some information, useful information from experts working on the field, people that is leading different departments, different important topics on crypto, and that we are all available. We have all available information for us. So for today, we have the co-founder and CEO of Match Systems. He will join really soon. He has background in law enforcement, has been in blockchain since 2015, has worked as AML officer, has been investigator, and he has been investigating some cases like Hydra and Finico, has recovered over 72 million in stolen crypto assets with Match Systems, and we are completely sure that his presence and his insights would be really useful for all of us operating in this space. This webinar, it's designed for people working in finance, investors, from individual investors to institutional investors, government regulators, law enforcement officials, everyone that works or potentially would work with crypto assets, that would get some insight and would be able to have a clear vision of what to have into account and how to operate on this space. During that talk, we'll talk about how those processes on AML and KYC are pillars in crypto security. We'll check which information we should know to know if our wallet is compliant or not, how we can check that we are operating safely, that we have a safe space, that we don't lose our crypto assets, that we don't lead to thefts of our resources, and which could be the consequences for not having those processes optimized, not being compliant, and specifically with business that want to operate on that space. I know it's a challenge for a lot of companies that they will love to integrate crypto assets and cryptocurrencies on their operations, but there's a lot of that. There's a lot of regulation going on, and we all are a bit lost on all of those procedures. So our expert Andrew Codlin will help us solve all of those questions. On the last part of the interview, we'll talk more about what we think that is coming next, which is the most popular sims that we may fall into, which are the trends. What do you see in cybersecurity, and which could be the future of cybersecurity, thanks to or due to regulation? If we will have more adoption, if not, that's something that Andre would give us his impression. Of course, all his insights will be more valuable than mine personally. So on these NBA talk sessions, we'll continue doing that. We'll continue creating some webinars with our experts, with leading people working on their own fields, and getting information from them. So any interesting people you may think that could be interesting for the Nordic blockchain session, and whoever is ready to join, we appreciate a lot having more insights on whether you could be interested. Um, Also on getting to know more which are the doubts and which are the new challenges that we are all facing. Because at the very end, if you are facing those problems or those doubts, a lot of people will probably be in the same situation. So those webinars will be held on LinkedIn in the following months, at least once a month. If you think that yourself you're an expert in a specific field that could be interesting for all of us, that would be something really valuable for us. And we are open to host more people, to have them all here, and at the very end, spread knowledge and create more information for all the people. If I'm not wrong, we have Andre ready to go. Hi,
Hello.
Andre.
Sorry. Yes. Hello. Sorry for technical issues, but now I'm
No
ready
worries.
to start. Yes.
It
Thank you
happens to the best
all.
of us.
Huh?
It happens to every one of us. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. Thanks. Sorry for being late, but okay. Let's start. I think.
Let's start. Let's start. So I've given a brief introduction about you. I've said that you have background in law enforcement. You have been in crypto for since 2015, if I'm not wrong, and you have been AML officer, investigator, and you have helped recover over 72 million stolen crypto assets. Um, I am missing something about you. What else could you tell us about
Uh,
you?
yes, I'm a former police officer, and I've been a crypto investigator in such major cases regarding the darknet marketplaces, big Ponzi schemes, and also I continue to do my uh, duty on the commercial approach, and I'm still running, and I'm CEO on match systems, and we provide our solutions more than in 15 countries, and around 50 companies now using our different type of solutions like compliance, expertise, consulting, and tools. And already, as you said, we recovered more than 70, I think, $75 million already now. The last 3 years we worked on. That's
That's a
it.
huge milestone. Being able to
Yes.
recover 75 millions, it's a huge, huge milestone, and you should be proud of that.
Uh, it's I think it could be possible because we have a part of comprehensive approach in our business, and second that we're doing is we have a luck, of course, and because most of those type of things like recovery assets or investigation, it based on the luck. which you could achieve when you're trying to reach your goals.
I guess it's a mix of luck and talent as well. You should have an amazing team. Um,
Yes.
for what I've heard, you also work with some in the public sector. So, what are the initiatives that you are promoting with the public sectors, and what progress have you done in that area?
In public sector, I still have only the cases based on the education with the different governments, and for whom we provide our expertise and trying to share our knowledge to make them uh, to make them safe and to establish the different type of directions, including the some universities, policy, different police agencies, financial intelligence units, for example, like in Dubai. We provide some courses to Dubai police, and now we provide some courses in Dubai blockchain center. And last month, for example.
Okay, that's great. I think yeah, it's really important that people working in all those kind of investigations they have first some training from people working on that, and they are able to have the tools and the knowledge on how to operate that sector.
Yes, as my opinion, that most problematic thing now in the sphere is the problem with education. There is no comprehensive education which could be possible integrated in the universities or in the government projects or in the banks or in the or in different governments. To be honest, and people without knowledge is the problem in this industry because uh, they bring damage to this industry, to the different types of financial institutions, and because if you're trying to be much more educatable, uh, you could be safer in this industry and in all financial industry. And this is the one of the main thing which our company promoting in the all this sphere.
I I completely agree. I've been in this space for some time now. Maybe not since 2015, but I also sometimes get lost on what are the different things. So I have a question for you, starting from the very beginning. So how do AML and KYC, what are they exactly, and how they serve as the pillars on crypto security? So what's the difference and what people should know about AML and KYC?
uh, I could say with a small joke, IML is a style, KYC is a process. IML is what approach you have into your company, and which on which your bases integrated, and in the processes about onboarding, about the compliance, due diligence, about the how you choosing your profile about your client. But KYC is the quite simple procedure which based on how many information you're collecting from your client or from your entities, like if you're onboarding the businesses. And the ML is the policy which you're already integrating, which you on which your employers based on, like for example which knowledge they have about those type of processes, which approach they're using to be to stay safe in the platform or in the business. That's like, I think.
Okay, so AML is a way of operating and KYC is the process you establish for being compliant, right? Is that
Yes, because for IML you need to educate your for IML you need to educate your management, because they running those policies and they looking how the employers following those policies and how the users following those processes. That's it.
Okay, so now that we have that that a bit more clear, let's start with crypto security for individuals. There's a lot of people operating in the space, and we all know. I think everyone has lose some money at some point. If not everyone, most of them, and it's something that we should all be aware on how to operate. So, which are the common mistakes that can lead to thief of crypto assets that could, yeah, so what people does wrong?
Most of people they trying to reach the destinations based on the
I think we're having some problems with the connection. Is that right?
oh, I'm back.
Sorry.
I'm back.
Yeah, you a
Yes,
bit.
yes. About the main mistake is when you're trying to uh, find the multiples for your assets, like 3 times, 4 times, and more, because you might know that every investment opportunity, and when you're trying to increase your risk to the maximum point, you may be in dangerous. And
Okay.
most of the people trying to risk to achieve the big money without understanding about the potential risk behind that. That's the main, and that's the first. The second one, I think that you might know and follow your rules about the simple due diligence process regarding the platforms you're using, the wallets you're using, because if you will type in Google, download the crypto wallet, I think you could find more than hundreds of various links to go on, and most of them I think will be fake, and you will lose your money. And better to know how to choose the right right software, right services, and how to investigate by yourself who is behind that. Because when you start to use the service, you need to follow the your rules. Because if you will use the service without any rule, you will lose your money. And that's the second. And the third, you must know that the high profits and high percentages in the investments almost is a fake and is a dangerous. And those three rules, I think, you might follow to stay safe.
Okay, so we could say that greediness tends to make people lose money, and then not doing enough due diligence, and well, do your own research that we all have heard sometimes.
Sometimes you need to stay a little bit slow in when you're trying to find some positions or some when you're trying to choose, you need to stay slow to think about that, and after that maybe you will reach out your goal. Because if you will try to do everything in a rush, in the money money and rush is not connectable. Two words
That's a good advice. Yeah.
it's very opposite, both of them.
Okay, and so when we want to do some kind of due diligence, so we want to check for our wallet if it's compliant, how can we conduct those due diligence? How can we check about the compliance for our wallet?
First, you could use the Google. Second, you could use the Chat GPT for that. Third, you could use the our, for example, ML bot. which could be helpful for you to understand which funds are which funds are contained in this wallet. And the fifth is I think that's enough. Better if you could use the Google first to understand is this wallet is old or is this wallet is new. I think is the first steps to have some understanding about what is behind. Because if you will do as the same I said, everything's on rush and trying to okay, doesn't matter what is behind, who is behind this wallet, who is the owner. Let me receive this money to my exchange wallet like Binance or other. I think it might be blocked because for example a lot of money from old wallets like which operating from 2016 2015 years, most of them contains the like contains the transactions from the compromised exchange or compromised wallets, and all AML systems will be will emerging with the red flag on this wallet. And better to start from that, from the how old is wallet, how many cryptocurrency passed through that wallet, and after that you could follow your short rule list, and it's like the due diligence for your own wallet, because you could find a lot of open source services, for example like Arkham network, to understood who is behind and which funds contains in this wallet or this address.
Okay, so at the very end, Google is the answer and looking what's behind that, and then using some of the tools that you have from where that wallet comes from and what it has, and if it's one of
There,
those blacklists, right?
yes, there are a lot of open source tools now, which you could use for your safety, for your financial safety. Yes, actually.
Right. So continuing and going a bit into the business and financial institutions. Um, so we have seen slowly, and we have been all waiting for businesses and financial institutions to get in into the crypto space. We are seeing a lot of financial institutions slowly getting in and being aware of all of the processes. But what's the consequences of ignoring AML compliance for companies, for example, and how they can just integrate those processes and integrate crypto operative within their current business processes.
I think there are two ways to create your own department in your company, or to use dedicated department by the company like our ours, and who could be helpful, and who could provide the compliance as a service for your business, because to create your own procedures and your own protocols in the company is much not okay, not too much problematic, but is quite problematic, as I know, because you need to find the head of department. Out after that, you need to hire some compliance officers who might be study in some courses and have some certificates, and better to use this on outsource, as I think now. But if you want to dive deep in those type of procedures, why not? You may be better educated and might be careful for yourself, for your family, and for others, because you will be well educated and you will provide those type of information for people around you, and that's also the point. And by the way, in all the businesses with cryptocurrencies or without cryptocurrencies, it's better to have a security department and who could help you and who could also provide the compliance procedures and incident response for any cases with any fraud or potential fraud or the hacks. That's it.
Okay, so you can either have it both in-house or outsourcing it. I guess if cryptocurrency is one, or crypto operative is within your core business, you may want to invest quite a lot of money on developing like a solid department. But if it's not one of your core operatives, sometimes it's just easier to go to some of the companies that are already providing those services, that are already experienced on them, so they would be able to do it faster and easier and cheaper than establishing your.
And also it could be safer because when you have a trustable people around your company or you trust someone who could do the security not inside the company, it could prevent some uh, sensitive situation in the company regarding the when people who, for example, trying to make some fraud in the company and they will see that they have a security officer now in the company and they will try to bribe him or something or something other. And but when these people will be on outsource, that could be much safer for the company and for the.
We lost that part, the last part.
I want to say that if you will use the people on outsource, not in the company, it could be much safer than when you're using the people in and then create your own department, because your own department is a part of the company and it also might have a risk for a data breach or for some internal like internal bad situations. And
Okay,
is
yeah, you're bringing everything. So a data breach or an attack on one of those parts will also affect your company, as if it's outside. Maybe it's going to stay just on that compliance company that is helping you get those.
because also, for example, like big companies like McKinsey and others, they have their own forensic departments and they provide those type of services to other companies to make their internal investigations from the people who are who the people in company still doesn't know who they are, and this is much more better.
Okay, so now, for example, let's say that like, there is a business that accepts payments in cryptocurrency. Let's say I have any kind of business and I do accept cryptocurrency. I guess one of the options is having automatic transaction verification. So I want to check before accepting that payment if it's a good payment or if there's any issue with that wallet or those cryptocurrencies. How can I choose the correct service, or how should I check for that?
Better to use any licensed service because if you have your own license in your country, you may ask your financial intelligence unit or cryptocurrency regulation authority in your country which services are already accepted or licensed in your country where you have your license for cryptocurrency business, and that's it. Because most of them, they're okay from 2 to 5 main services which you could use, but mostly it's better to ask your financial intelligence unit or officer who take cares about your license in the government authority of your country.
Okay, so we need to go to governmental organizations and ask which are the companies that are licensing here. So it's important to be secure and work with companies that have a license and they operate legally nowhere. So that would be the main thing to
Because,
look for, right?
yes, because when you will have an answer from them about that this software is verified in this jurisdiction, and you will have the official answer on your question on your letter. And if someone asks why you choose this software, you said they told me about that, and that's it.
Okay. Okay, it's a way of saying like it was not ultimate decision, but they told me it's legal. Yeah, I guess if they have a license, it's also like a way of proving that you should trust them, or
It's
like
not
they
about,
did
it's not
your due
about
diligence for you.
they might be in touch with your financial intelligence unit, or they using the same software. It's based. It depends on the country.
Okay. And what are those technologies that are used to make that automate AML checks? What are the technologies used for that?
Uh, it's if we dive deep into the technologies, is the mostly clusterization technologies and information. Not different information tools, but it's different tools which are using for uh, collecting and aggregating data from the blockchains and from the open source and from the closed sources, which could be helpful and like and in one place, and all of them are using some different math algorithms like clusterization and authentication and verification of the data, because the biggest problem is false positive. When, for example, in one cluster you could find the different addresses which are related with the different sources and different entities. And by the way, I think it could be now the technologies are based on the AI mostly, but AI have a different problems now in the compliance, because false positive this problem following all AI tools in compliance till last 2 years.
I guess it's not easy, but the main idea, I guess, is just to look an open source look online what can we extract from those wallets and that information and how related it is to some kind of issues that we have before, right? Or checking some
problem
blacklist
problem
maybe.
that problem that sometimes people who are behind the crime wallets, they also might use these open source tools. And as we know, the people who using the different sources in traditional investigations, those sources are not open for everyone, and those sources are closed for regular people, and they are private only for governments. But as we know that blockchains is open source uh, transactions for most of the, and transparent for most of the users who knows how to surf into that. And it's the open question. I think it will be next 2 3 years, because now some people from investigation companies, they're trying to find and to close all the breaches, but let's see what will be
I
in
guess
the
breaches are used a lot just to start messing around and being able to just omit and create long chains of wallet to wallet to wallet to wallet to at some point lose all the track, right?
yes.
Okay, okay. I think I get a better idea. So once, for example, there has been any kind of crimes, we have lost the money, or there has been an exploit, or any kind of attack. How is the cryptocurrency asset recovery process? How is that handled, and what's the step by step for recovering crypto?
To be clear, is no step-by-step instruction.
Okay.
Mostly the main rule and the main task in every situation, you need to report as much as you can. and to as much sources as you can do. But to be clear, when you will understand that something happened, you might know that now you have already zero. And if you want to buy a lottery ticket, you may do that. If you don't want to play the lottery and you find with that you lost your asset or your something you already lost, okay, maybe you need to sleep with those idea and think about it a little bit more. But you need to understand that every second, every minute, and every hour in the recovery process, it costs. It costs the possibility of future chance to recover your asset.
Okay, so it's an expensive process, and nothing is guaranteed. So,
Nothing.
okay, I guess when it's a huge exploit, then it makes more sense to do it. But yeah, sometimes I guess some of us have had some issues and have lost some money, and just because of the amount it was, and that we probably was our fault, so we didn't do anything. But in cases of major thips, it would make sense to dedicate that resources to getting it back. So, uh, what's what factors influence the success of some of such investigation, or how we can just try to get closer and being able to recover those assets? What can we do?
First is you might try to report to the all exchanges and all cryptocurrency tools that something happened. And after you report about that at the first second or first minute of the incident, this factor is most indicated of the potential result and potential success. And that's it, I think. And also, yes, the second factor is the jurisdiction in which you're running your case.
Okay, so there are some different jurisdictions and not all of them are equal, right?
So, yes, much successful jurisdiction is the United States, I think, or United Kingdom. Uh, Now, as I know, on my
The,
practice,
so the best ones or the worst ones?
best ones,
The best ones. Okay.
and but you might know that it will cost you something because you need to pay the lawyers, you need to pay the everyone's, and you will be lucky if you will convert your zero balance to like if you lost 100 and at the end of the process you will have 30. That's also success because you convert zero to other number.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we try to operate and we know that if we have lost already some of our funds by mistake, by any attack, whatever, it could be kind of tricky and costly to recover those. So what's what are your thoughts about crypto exchanges, like the security in them? Because we all think that if it's an exchange, it's safe. That's the main. If you know a big exchange or a renowned exchange, you will think that you are just safe because they will handle everything. How is security on those?
uh, I think the level of security is nothing if we will go on that with social engineering processes, because most of the breaches in exchangers or in any other potential points, they breached by the social engineering ways. And also you could prevent it only if you're using good educational shortcuts for your team, and who will be in, not in the shock, but stay in tonus about the potential attack, or they might know that something could be happened in the future.
Okay, and should they be a bit more regulated, not
Mm,
regulated,
mm,
just in pro of security of them?
you know that the banks, they already quite good regulated in most of countries, but they still falling every time,
That's
every
true.
year. That's why I think that maybe in 10 years we will see the some points of regulated entities, but I don't think so. It could be, it could be quite good.
Okay, so your stand is that we like it could be secure being either being regulated or not regulated. It's more about the practices and
Yes.
how we operate on those systems that itself it has a lot of
Yeah.
regulation.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's really interesting. Um, okay, going in the last part of the interview, and I want to know a bit what do you see on the future? What's your standard like? What's happening in this years, and what do you think is gonna come for the following years? So, which are the most popular schemes or frauds in in 2024, and what are you seeing in those last years?
Drainers. Drainers are much popular now, and Ponzi schemes as well. They will be popular all the time, and I think ransomware is going down a little bit now, but I think we'll see something new after, I think, February or March, because it's usually after New Year. In one 2 month, scammers or bad guys launching something new.
Okay, but for now, the most common are drainers. Can you explain a bit
Yes,
shortly drainers?
drainer, drainer malware, or like bad smart contract is a smart contract which you connect into your wallet, and it withdrawing automatically all the funds from your wallet to the bad actor. That's uh, that's why you're not trying to apply for some different kinds of things, like try to earn 100% per day or per month, connect your wallet, is all fake and bad advertisement. If you will see that, it's the how they advertising their bad smart contracts.
Okay, and I know, and I guess there are plenty of tools to check those smart contracts. But I think the most important thing is doing your due diligence and going for something that it's back for some people, a team, and that you know that they have been open for some time, right?
Yes, but you could open this smart contract in your, in the Etherscan or in the Tronscan or in any other scan system, and you will see that how it could be marked, because in most of the systems they marking automatically the bad smart contracts to help the people, but no one looks. Everyone wants the income and
Yeah,
earning.
that's true. Maybe it's sometimes it's so simple as doing a small, like a quick search on an Etherscan or one of those.
Only 1 2 minutes,
I
but
think we should all be more careful on that when operating in crypto in general.
of course.
Okay, so and what are the trends in in crypto cybersecurity? What are you seeing that is going on?
Automated tools, of course, automated and open source tools, like you said.
Okay, so I guess is it AI also getting trendy and
Yes, it will.
creating new tools,
It,
right?
I think it will be trendy next 3 year, 3 5 years, until we reach something interesting, something interesting and very advanced.
Okay. You explained that the main, like the technologies behind was clustering and data analysis and getting a lot of information and processing. And I guess there's a huge potential for AI to help optimize and automate all of those processes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll keep an eye on that, of course. Um, and what's your stand for the future of cryptocurrencies, digital assets, mm, call it so, in terms of security and regulation?
I can say, by the way, the right direction, but I think the regulation will be strict and strict from month to month or from year to year. And by the future of security, I don't have any prediction.
Okay. But regulation
because
is going straight. Also, I guess
because
Europe is the one regulating the most, and some other markets are a bit more permissive.
yes, yes, I think. But which markets? I think the Asian market will be much easier for customers, but European and the States market will be much problematic for regular customers and for the businesses.
Okay, so we have a challenge here. Um, and do you think they could have a positive impact, like those changes in regulation and bringing regulation? Do you think maybe they could bring more institutional investors with more regulation? They feel more safe on that.
Institutions, they making separate market, to be clear, for themselves, which are the safest market for them and which could be safer and safer only for them, not for others. They building separate institutional market. Yes, they growing market about the liquidity and about capacity, but
Okay. Okay, but they will create their safe market.
yes,
That's Would those markets be connected with the rest of them? I mean, if they start working with some of
I don't
them, will they have, or maybe common tools, common places to operate? What do you think about that?
I don't think so
Okay,
because
so you're pessimistic about they're going full crypto. I can get that. Yeah.
for
Okay.
example, institutional businesses, they using, for example, now they're using ETF and they're using Coinbase custody to base and to store their bitcoins, and that's it. And they are not in real crypto market. But other people, they could you can store the ETF. You only could store the bitcoins from custody, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they have their own market, and I guess it's where they operate. But I also guess that at some point, some of the tools, some of the products delivered to the market for individuals and investors, we could see that custody, even though maybe they would have some of their preferences, we will see slowly that we could share common ground in some of those tools or compliance or investigation.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on this, and if we see any improvements or any changes on that, we'd love to have you back on talking about that. So, just as a way to finish, what what is my system focus on? What are the goals, and what are you working on for the coming years? What's your plan for the following years? How do you address all of this?
As I told, to create automated tools.
Okay, so building more tools.
Yes, and open source tools for everyone.
Any specific things that you could share with us? Those
Not
tools.
yet.
Which are the
Not
main
yet.
effort?
Not yet.
Not yet. No, but the idea is that you are still on the building phase of building more tools and building all those, because then you'll provide those tools and also
Yes.
establish all those methods, AML and KYC processes, right?
Yep.
Okay, it's great. It's great to know that you are working on tools and open source tools, because that's, I think we all believe that that's what it's needed, and there's a lot of information, and we also need that people know how to use them, and
Yes.
people know what's going on and how they can manage and operate safely in the crypto space.
Okay.
Um, that's all from our side. Has been an hour. It has been great. I've learned a lot. Um, if
Thank you
there's,
very much.
I would love that people can just write it in the comments. I'll have a look at the comments if there are some questions. So if you can, you and your team of experts could answer some of the questions about the people, I think they would appreciate a lot.
Okay.
I'll take a note as well and be sure to know all the answers to those questions myself. It has been a pleasure, and I hope to host you another time for another NBA talks. The
Of
pleasure is
course.
ours to have you.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Great. So for everyone, that's all. We had a really interesting talk with Andre. Uh, we got a lot of insight on how to operate, how to, what's important, and I think we all know Google is our ally on getting information and doing our due diligence. Sometimes it's just a 2 minute search, so do not that and do that search, look through it scan, and then check for tools and make sure to be operating safe and do your own research as always. Thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate that you spent some
Thank
time
you
with
for
us.
the invitation. Bye bye.
Bye. See you next time.